Warren just always falling forward. Never one guy brings that dude down. Everybody's storyline around Aaron Rodgers, but the real storyline is, man, we got to get this monkey off our back. We're trying to win, damn period. That's all that freaking matters. We got to win some ball games. Support for this show comes from Starbucks. It's finally here. No, I'm not talking about fantasy football. 4 words: Starbucks pumpkin spice lattes. Embrace fall with this seasonal classic pumpkin spice latte. Handcrafted with Starbucks signature espresso, steamed milk, and real pumpkin. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. Get it while it's hot or iced. What's up, everybody? I know you're pretty upset about the game we had last week. I'm pretty upset too, but we got to move forward. Hayden, join me on this ride as we try to get over the loss we just had.
Okay, I will join you, but I do have some questions about it if you don't mind.
Before I do that, I have to say, welcome to Not Just Football. We're here. We're ready to get going. We're going to have some fun. We're going to move on. We're going to look at the game. We're going to look towards the Green Bay game, and we'll get to it. But, yeah, what did you see in the Bengals game, Hayden?
Obviously you know the game. You forgot more football than I could ever know. So I will.
Wait, forgot more football?
Yeah, you've forgotten more football than I could ever know. It's a saying. It's okay if you don't get the saying.
I don't.
It's all right. Anyway, let's move on. I have a question. How does Jamar Chase catch 16 balls? Like, as a fan, I just don't understand. Like, I would think going into the game that if there's one guy we're not going to let beat us, and I know he's going to get his occasionally because it's just how the sport works, but 16 catches, 23 targets seems like an awful lot for the best receiver in football. And I hate to play armchair quarterback and the guy there, but when you look at some of the videos or you see some of the screenshots, he's like wide open.
Yeah.
So I guess my question as a fan, and you guys struggled stopping the run too, so I would love to know, where do you think it went wrong? Because as a fan defensively, and we could start there and get to the offense, the good after, but it just felt like, man, just nothing worked on Thursday. So as a fan, explain to me what happened.
Well, I guess let's start with the bad. There's
Yes.
plenty of that. Defensively wise, I gotta say we get a good start, 10-0 to start the game, and then they rip off 2 big runs, and I feel like it really opened up their offense to feel more comfortable. In the run game, we didn't get off blocks well enough. We didn't stay in our gaps, and then we didn't tackle that well. And that is a recipe that will kill you in that type of game. Thursday night football is all about self-inflicted wounds. And when you don't take care of, your job first and then help out, Thursday night football can end up in a bloodbath. I know the game was close, but as a defense, that was pretty hard to be a part of. And then with all that saying, we still had a chance late. When it comes to Jamar Chase, I think there were some communication errors, and we weren't able to execute because we had check calls and there was a little bit of confusion there. Hopefully that gets cleaned up on the back end. But stopping Jamar Chase isn't just about the secondary; it's about the D line too. That's about the D line dominating, or the front 7 dominating on early down. So it's not just you can play pitch and catch with a guy like that. And then it's also about executing on the back end, having press, having different things to show at them. We didn't do that. You can if you are looking for an excuse, you could say the referees played a part. But in my eyes, you can't do that. It's just not fair, because there's always calls they miss and there's always calls they call. And if you're looking for one call, you're probably going to miss another. And good teams get past it. We weren't able to, but this can be a great learning tape. When you have a team at 10-0, you got to close the door, because if you can get up quick, it's going to create for a better game. And I think on offense, the only bad thing we did was 2 turnovers. And if we prevent those, every time they had a turnover, they got points, and that is an infliction on the defense. But if you take away those 2 scores out of that, we win that game. Now the good part is our offense can ball with anybody. You know, you look at Aaron, and we're not surprised as a team. We've gotten to see what he's done all year long, but he spreads the ball around to everybody, and it's been very different this year in seeing it doesn't matter who it is, everybody's got a chance to eat. You can start with DK first. Then you can look at, Scotty had some plays. You look at Roman Wilson had some plays. You look at Pat Freiermuth had a big day. Yep. Darnell Washington had a big day. Jonnu, Jalen Warren. It doesn't matter who's in there. He's going to get the ball out to everybody. It's not just, hey, I'm going to force feed somebody until, you take that away. He wants to make sure everybody stays involved. And if he trusts you, he's going to do that. But I really like the way our offense played. Years past, we would have been scratching for 30 points. And as a defense, when you get 30 points, you got to be feeling like, man, I can win any game. So, hopefully that's here to stay on offense, and hopefully that's here to pass on defense. So, I think there's a lot we can learn from this game, but, pissed we let that one go.
Yeah, it sucks to not waste, but, not take advantage of that offensive output. I want to talk about the defense a little bit more before I talk about the offense with you, but I saw a lot of people going around saying you guys weren't making adjustments on defense. Flacco's getting the ball out. How do you counteract him getting the ball out of his hands quickly? Because, I was watching Pat McAfee show today, and Bruce Arians was saying, a lot of Jamar Chase's targets were on what probably was a run play that he just made a quick throw out to the sideline. How could you guys have counteracted that and maybe help the pass rush get home a little more? Because it felt like he was getting the ball out in 2.5 seconds. So it's hard to get home that quickly, right?
It's hard to get home, but as a D line, you can get your hands up and try to take away some of those passes. And I just think you can't be a sitting target. It can't just be, they expect this every single time. That goes to your level of confidence in the defense and being able to stem and, show different looks. I think pre-snap is always big in doing that. You might play the same coverage multiple times, but he needs to be thinking about different ways of how you're going to get there. I think being in those certain situations where it's not just an easy catch. I think it's got to be more 3rd and 10s. When we're a defense that, prevents you from getting easy stuff in the run game, then your pass game has to be elite. Then it has to be a circus catch or something crazy to really get the chains moving. And so as much as you can talk about the pass, it leads with the run. It allows that offensive line to feel more comfortable in that.
Yeah, and they were a team who was not very good at running the football coming into that game. I don't think they had a rush over 15 yards all year, and they had 2 in that game. What was the problem up front? I mean, they seemed to run it pretty good, and you guys just had a tough time with it.
Yeah, we didn't stay in our gaps. We didn't get off blocks. And it's not one person; it's an entire group. And even with those, you gotta mitigate those. I've seen plenty of times a guy's in the wrong gap, but there's been other guys who are able to get off blocks and still make plays, or secondary condenses it. So it's an 11-man job where it's multiple guys doing their jobs, and then when a guy falls short, other guys got to pick it up.
Yeah, and I don't think the officiating was very good. Not the reason you guys lost the game. I don't think that. But I also don't think that DJ Turner interception was an interception.
Bro, I didn't get clarity on that because I've watched it multiple times, and even he catches the ball continues to roll as he's on the ground. Yep. So it just felt like it was like, I don't know how you make that an interception. There's too much going on to, really say clear cut 2 feet or elbow down, and that leads to an interception.
Yeah, I didn't think he got 2 feet down, and I'm with you. I saw the ball roll. It was almost kind of like the Jamar Chase one they overturned that They called a catch. The ball kept moving once he got out of bounds. So I don't know. I thought that one was weird. Now I do want to go to the good though, the offense. looks like you guys have found a run game. I know maybe Cincinnati was down Hendrickson, but Aaron Rodgers looks very comfortable in that offense. And I will say, I think the way they're playing offense with all the tight ends they're using gives them advantages in the run game, but it's also giving them advantage in the pass game. I think 3 tight ends cut touchdowns, or 3 touchdown passes to tight ends this weekend, or 4. Was it 4?
I think it was
Jonnu caught 1 and Pat caught 2, right?
No, and
Darnell?
Pat caught 1.
Oh, and Darnell caught
1.
So all tight ends catching. So it's like using the tight ends. Talk about the offense. Seems like they're getting comfortable with the run game. Jalen Warren, man, is an absolute bowling ball out there too.
Yeah. Our tight ends, top to bottom, I think are, that group is one of the best in the league. And you got to throw in Spencer Anderson as well into that group, because he is an extra body that, a team has to deal with. And it's a big switch up for our group. And that leads to Jalen Warren just always falling forward. Never one guy brings that dude down. It takes a multitude of guys, and he's usually making one guy miss in space. Really nice to see Pat have the game he had. People like to talk about him, and, for him to just keep his head down, keep working was really awesome to see. I thought our offensive line played really well. Isaac Malo, I saw a lot of times him finishing runs. I thought our tackles played very well. Only thing I would critique is Broderick Jones tackling Aaron Rodgers. I don't ever want to see that. That's, I don't want to see our quarterback down. I definitely want to see our quarterback down with a tackle on top of him. So, but, they were feeling it, and it's really nice to have an offense that can, get up and down the field.
That bummed me out because that moment you could see how angry Rodgers was, rightfully so too. I'm not saying he should not have been, but I wished you guys could have pulled that game out because it would have been something that we could have all laughed about, because I was sitting there Thursday night and saw it, and I hated that I was laughing at it because it was after the loss. But, man, I tell you what, that offensive unit played great. Also, too, I don't know if Aaron wants to keep playing after this year. You would know better than me if he's interested in something like that. He looks like he could keep playing for at least another year or two. The guy looks very good out there. He's moving around. I thought he moved around great Thursday night, especially so quickly after a game Sunday. And I will say, man, would he throw that ball 70 yards in the air at the end of the game? I mean, the arm strength, even on the one to Pat, he's got an incredible arm. He looks really good out there, man. So the offense is really starting to come together. Yeah.
Kudos to Aaron. Big respect there. Yeah. Dude needs to keep playing. We'll talk about that later. But that dude is one of a kind, and, he should have a job as long as he wants. But I got to make sure we take care of business this year.
Yeah, for sure. Also, shout out Roman Wilson. Happy to see he had a big game. I feel like a lot of people have been trying to close the door on him. I think he had 33 snaps on Thursday. He looked really good and made a couple big plays, man. I think it would be really nice if you can get him going when Calvin comes back. Man, the offense is starting to really come together. Really excited for that. Before we get out of here, though, on this game, why'd you punch Joe Flacco?
I didn't punch Joe Flacco.
Dude, I'm scrolling around on Twitter, and I see another video in a primetime game of you punching another quarterback. It was Justin Herbert a few years ago, and now it's Flacco. And it's always after a play where you're on top of the guy and you just throw that fist right into him. What happened?
Dude,
Did you get fined?
I was literally celebrating. We had just gotten a sack. I just split a sack. It should be a full, but
I know you're pissed about that. You tried to get up really fast. I saw it. You tried to get the celebration in quick on that one.
That's all it was. But there was no punching Joe Flacco. I don't even think there was no there's no O lineman. There's no one even took offense to it. I was literally just celebrating. But
camera angles are everything. Probably trying to hide from you because he threw a kick out you. Did you even see that during the play?
No, I didn't.
If you go watch that play, 66 throws a boot out there, just trying to trip you as you run towards Flacco. So I was like, that's why you punched him, because he got tripped by his guy, and it was retaliation is what it was. Did you get fined, though? No. Okay.
It wasn't a flag thrown for tripping either, so it probably didn't exist either. But okay, that makes they offsetting. Just I try to trip you.
then yeah. But hey, but good. But we're gonna have to move on from this
Yes,
one.
let's
Okay,
move on.
yeah,
Let's move on. Let's we got bigger fish to fry.
All right, Sunday night, Green Bay Packers. Is this an Aaron Rodgers revenge game since it was 2 teams ago? I feel like it is.
No,
Aaron Rodgers revenge game.
I don't care
playing
about
against his old team. We're trying to win this one for Rodgers.
No, we're trying to win. Damn, period. Like that's all. That's all that freaking matters. We got to win some ball games.
It's never bad to have motivation to do it for one of your buddies.
You don't think it's motivation enough that we're playing on Sunday Night Football? We're coming off a loss where our defense played bad, and it's at home at Acrisure. That's plenty to get the juices going.
Is there more pressure knowing Chris Collinsworth, the head of PFF, is there? So like your grading is going to be like seen by the head guy. Are you concerned? Like, does pressure ramp up knowing he's going to be there?
No,
it's not. All right. Well, let's talk about Green Bay. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, a bunch of really good wide receivers. Tucker Kraft. Tell us what you see from there. We'll get to their defensive side of the ball, but what do you see on offense so far, and what's the defense going to need to do to win?
I think it starts with Josh Jacobs. He can run out of the backfield. He can catch out of the backfield. He can do everything. We've always had Fitz trying to bring him down when he was with the Raiders. Now he's with Green Bay. But then you look at Jordan Love and you say there's nothing he can't do on the field. He is well equipped to, put up points. They got good tight ends. They got great receivers. They got a O-line that gels well together. This is probably one of the more complete offenses we're going to play this year. Top to bottom, they just have everything you need in an offense. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you trade for a guy like Micah Parsons to pair with Rashawn Gary. That's really special. They got opportunistic defense, and they can make plays happen. So looking forward to this game. Everybody's storyline around Aaron Rodgers, but the real storyline is, man, we got to get this monkey off our back, and we got to get back on schedule. So, looking forward to really answering that call.
Yeah, it's on. They're making you wait a long time too, right? Thursday to Sunday night, so you guys are going to be ready to go. What is going to be the key for stopping the run? Because it feels like this year you guys have kind of been inconsistent in that. Like where I thought against Cleveland, you guys did an incredible job, and we saw Sunday Judkins is really hard to stop. So like that, you guys have faced good backs. I thought you did a good job against New England as well. You guys have faced good backs, and you've done well, and you haven't done as well. Facing a very good rushing attack this week. So what has been the issues with the consistency in stopping the run?
I think it comes down to just trusting the defense. Sometimes you think you just got to make a play. You got to make a play. And sometimes it's defeating your block first and then going on, not jumping out of our gaps, not, trying to anticipate something. I think, one, it starts with good film study and play awareness, but two, just locking in on your assignment. If you start to see too much, you'll see nothing. Just focus in on your job, and keying your guy, because I've seen plenty of guys play our positions, and the things that made them do it so well is the unselfishness and just buying into just doing your job. It's not us being selfish as individuals, but as a team, you have to just buy into what the group is doing, because then the plays will just come to you. Like everybody's always looking for that knockout TFL. Sometimes a 1 to 2 yard stop is money, and so you kind of just got to relax and buy into that. This is this past game we just had is a reminder of that, and so it's just getting back to our fundamentals and locking in on our target. Sometimes your eyes can deceive you and you see too much. You just gotta, laser back in on what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now I know it feels like there's a lot of new faces all over the defense. Do you think it's part of that is like you guys are still gelling together, trying to come together as a unit, or what is it exactly?
It's a long season. We didn't say we're going to be perfect, but we strive for perfect. Obviously, we haven't played up to the way we want to play to. We think we have a pretty good defense, but we won't be playing our best ball late, and that means you got to keep, rising and not plateauing. But to do that, I think you got to take some of these lumps and learn from these lumps. But I'm not gonna shy away from it. I think we got to be a lot better, and the only way you get better is you go out there and play. So looking forward to attacking that.
I'm excited, man. Sunday night in Acrisure, I think with two of the most historic franchises in NFL history, I think it's going to be a really good one. Two good teams too, man. You're right. The wins, you need to stack the wins now. You need to take advantage of where the division's at. One thing I saw, and I hate to go back to Thursday night real quick. Do you know what the AFC North records are over the last 38 games on Thursday night?
No.
Baltimore 2-6, Cleveland 1-5, Pittsburgh 2-9, Cincinnati 1-6. That's from Dave Schofield, by the way, on Twitter.
Thanks,
but that's a crazy stat to where it's just very clear that division games Thursday night on the road are tough for everybody, and it's obviously no excuses. You guys got to win that game. You're up 10-0, but
yeah,
just a thing to keep in mind too. I think for fans that Thursday night against the division is tough, man. No matter who you're playing.
But we won't make excuses.
No.
That's part of why we play this game, to be challenged. Man, I wish we would have won that game. We had a chance to win it, and we're just going to focus on what we can control. Was it perfect? No, but I will say someone once told me, the more you play in this game, you'll start to think you'll start to be jaded in what you think. And in high school, what was it all about? Just winning the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you become a professional and you strive to be great, that can be taken away where you got to win, but you got to win a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to lock in on your focus, and the focus is just winning. And we want to play good ball, and we want to win a certain type of way, but we just gotta do our football instead of trying to live up to these expectations elsewhere.
I think too, the defense needs to realize it feels like there's not as much, not that you guys don't want the pressure, but you guys got an offense on the other side who could pick you up. They did it twice on Thursday, down 10. They picked you guys up. You guys didn't follow on your end, but that doesn't matter, right? It's you guys got plenty of time to figure it out, but it feels like the offense is here ready to go. I'm excited to see Rodgers go up against his old team. I know you say it's nothing about that, but it's hard to ignore that as fans when he played there for 17 years and did so much there. So I'm excited. I know he's excited. You can say what you want.
He's not excited at all.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell that you guys, this is big. You just can't say it. It's a big one. You guys are going to be pumped up for this one.
It's a big one because we're all in it.
What do you say? It's a 5-star matchup because we're in it.
Yep.
There you go. That's a Tomlinism. Boom. I didn't even play for the guy, and I know that one.
Wow. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
All right, let's move on to some other big games. Hayden, you got any ones you really want to look at coming up this week?
Well, where do you want to start? You want to start college? You want to start pro?
Let's start college.
All right, let's go Saturday. We got a couple big ones. We got Oklahoma at Ole Miss. Ole Miss coming off the loss in Athens. We got Missouri and Vanderbilt. By the way, Vandy, man. Vandy's 6-1 or 7-1, playing really good football. I bet you didn't even know Vandy was good because you don't watch college football.
I saw Vandy beat Alabama last year, and so I knew it was going to be a big game this year. Alabama answered the call there, but Vandy has, done pretty good. They beat LSU last week. The kid actually did the Heisman pose. So, yeah, I watched my fair share of college football.
I don't think you do. But anyway, Texas A&M is also going to LSU this week too. So a lot of good college football. And let me ask you this. I don't even really care about the games. The Florida job is open, Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you see taking the Florida job or the Penn State job?
Me and you have talked about this at length. And, the funniest one is the guy at Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin.
Why is that funny?
Because the way they put in, they will monitor his situation. That's just sharks, circling. And Lane's in a position where he doesn't have to go anywhere.
Man, if Florida comes calling, I think he's got to take it, though. I really do.
You never know.
You really think no offense to Ole Miss, but I think if the Florida Gators come calling, that's a bigger job. And he's been in the SEC. He was at FAU. Florida seems like a spot for him.
I don't know. You're in a good position now. You don't want to mess that up. But that's funny because like the Kurt Signetti of it all, he was probably the hottest coach right now. And Indiana said, nah, we're stopping that right there. Like, we're going to give you whatever you want. It could be funny. James Franklin might wind up in one of these jobs that's opening up. Dark horse, I think everybody's going to be talking about once the season ends. Brian Hartline, the OC at Ohio State, my former teammate. He's been lauded as such a great recruiter that these teams that are jeopardizing their recruiting strategies are going to need someone who can recruit their tail off, that's already in the system, that a lot of guys want to play for. So that's the name to keep out for. I heard Matt Rule could get the job in Penn State because he has Penn State ties. But I don't know. I feel like it's too early to really try to sign somebody right now.
Well, who's a big name that I've heard Penn State and Florida are interested in is Marcus Freeman.
Another one of my teammates.
I was going to say is another one of your boys who I think is a very hot commodity right now. And is Notre Dame a better job than Penn State and Florida? I don't know. Who knows at this point? I don't know. It's interesting. But he's a very hot name too. It's crazy to see these jobs openings coming open mid season. And, the Kirk Signetti thing was hilarious too, because you're right. It's like, man, we got to lock him up quick because they knew Penn State was coming to call. But I don't know. I feel like Hartline's going to just take Luke Fickell's job at Wisconsin, if we're being honest. They're just going to trade in one Ohio State guy for the next Ohio State guy.
So then where does Luke Fickell go?
You think Penn State would take Hartline in his first job? That's a big job.
If I'm Penn State, I would have went and got Mike Munchak.
Wow. Does Mike Munchak want to coach college football?
He did at one time, and he was in the running, but they went with the other guy. So
who'd they go with?
They went with Bill O'Brien.
He did a pretty good job there, though. He ended up parlaying that into a couple jobs. It's interesting, man. But I will say the best job on the planet is fired college football coach. Like, if I'm James Franklin, I'm going to chill, get paid out, then I'll just start coaching again.
Well, I heard the one thing they were like, he has to get a job in broadcasting. But I'm like, couldn't he just have his own podcast and pay himself?
That's what somebody said. Somebody was like, just start a podcast. I think it was Dominic Foxworth or somebody said that. Like, just start your own podcast. I mean, seriously, does that make you want to get into college coaching maybe? Get into college coaching, hire me on your staff, and then we just get fired and we just live off the $100 million that you're getting paid out. There you go. Boom.
Well, you'd have to be doing your Connor Stallions impression wherever you go. So
listen, if you want me to illegally scout and advanced scout people, I will do that for you and your college football team. So,
why don't you do that now for me? Why don't you illegally scout for me now?
Okay. Do you want me to start going to games and just start filming offensive linemen?
Yes.
Okay. I'll film it from the stands. Okay.
And fans, if you want to take part in that, we would gladly appreciate that. I watch a lot of film, so
I don't know if you're allowed to be asking fans to see. You're going to be having people send videos of the sideline now.
It's not like I'm hiring them, but if they want to send me videos of O-linemen so I can study them.
Is that not illegal?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe we should check that before we.
I'm not paying for their flights, and
you are a guy
on the sideline.
We know you live on the edge. You like to punch quarterbacks, so we know you live on the edge.
You live on the edge.
Let me ask you this: this weekend, did you watch any NFL games? Since you got to have the weekend off, I know you're a family man, but did you watch any? Why'd you make that face?
I watched one game.
Oh, is it Giants Broncos?
Yes, and
that was incredible.
It was rough.
Why? It was a great game.
Because you're watching it, and I'm just thinking, oh my dog, and I'm thinking wow, the Giants are about to go down here and score. They scored way too fast. 40 seconds left on the clock, and then they get and then they miss the PAT, and I'm like, oh shoot, you
knew right then.
You open like a can of worms when you gave them new life when you missed that PAT, and then. Denver's offense goes out there, get a beautiful pass from Bo Nix right in the middle of the field. Hurry up. And then I don't know what Brian Burns was doing, but he did not make it back on side. So he gave him a free 5. Then the next play they convert to Cortland Sutton. And you're like, man, that's beautifully drawn up because you didn't even have to waste any time because you got an offsides penalty.
I know.
And so it was you started feeling bad and you're like, man, like to go down with 40 seconds and think like you got it. It reminded me of the time we played the Cowboys and I think Ben hit him with the fake pump fake.
Fake spike.
The fake spike. And it was a beauty to see. But then we gave him the ball right back with way too much time.
Yeah.
And that was a heartbreaker.
That's the year. I think that's the game you tore your pec, right? And that was that's the game you ended your season. I remember that. That was a tough one. That was a tough day. I remember that. Yeah. No, here's the thing, though. I hear you. Kicker can't miss the extra point. I'm sure he feels. They were up 26-8 with like 6 minutes to play. Like you can't lose that game. Like up 19-0. They 33 points in the fourth quarter is insane. Like I know you don't like gambling. I heard somebody say you could have gotten the Broncos at plus 6,000 midway through the fourth quarter, which is a ridiculous amount, by the way.
And I'm not telling you to like become stagnant in your offense, but like have long running plays to really burn that clock. You know, I remember back in the day they used to call it high the weenie. When they would, that was just the way that it was called. They would give the ball to Jerome, and they would just churn and move forward. And if you don't have a offensive line and a running back to really just have that type of tempo and kind of switch gears a little bit, but still be able to convert on third down, man, you're going to be in for a long day, and you're always going to give it a chance for a team to come back.
Yeah, that was an incredible game, though. I mean, I will say too. Dart and the Giants look pretty good, man. They don't look terrible, especially for a rookie quarterback. And I got to say it. Maybe I was wrong about Scatabo. He might be pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it's the white running back thing. I just didn't think he was going to be that good. He looked pretty good.
Bro, that dude, he's trying to get a concussion the way he runs. he runs dumb hard. And
he runs physical.
Man, I love it. But, he definitely brings a lot of energy to that group.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty fun to watch. All right, before we move on from the NFL slate and end, Tush Push possibly being stopped by one of your former coaches. What do you think of what the Vikings did to stop the Tush Push? And if you haven't seen it, we'll send it to you. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What? They just fell to the ground to see if they could get somebody to jump off sides?
I thought they stopped it, dude. They got a new. You guys need to start this. You need to start this. I think they did draw the offsides, but they basically put a guy sideways and then two guys hold on to him, and it just was getting the Eagles a jump each time. You're going to be the guy who's sideways, I'd imagine, right? It's going to be you.
This is wild. I guess like I get the tush push. I just think in the grand scheme of it, you know, and I think it happened in the 49ers game, right? The O-lineman grabbed Christian McCaffrey and just threw him in the end zone. And so
he dragged him. Grabbed him from the 5. And I will say the referee in the booth or whatever came in and was like, that's a penalty. But he grabbed him. It was Sunday Night Football. Grabbed him at the 5 and just carried him into the goal line. Like, it was ridiculous. They can't have that.
But that's there's no understanding to it. So I feel like you're going to have to do away with guys getting pushed to the running back or the guy with the ball possessing the ball cannot be pushed from the backside to convert a play. Because I think that's not even really football. You're just kind of just throwing a guy into harm's way at that point.
Well, it used to be the rule. Remember when Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart? That was illegal, though. I'm pretty sure it was illegal in the NFL. You could not push forward. Then one year they just changed it, and now teams have taken advantage of it. I will say, I like the new wrinkle where Connor is taking the tush push, But last week when you guys got called for it, Darnell just picked him up and threw him over the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
I mean, that was him throwing it like a little baby over the line of scrimmage. Like it was insane to watch. Sucked they got a penalty called on it, but it feels like y'all's is going to be unstoppable if Darnell's just going to pick Connor up and carry him over the line. So
I guess we'll see.
But yeah, all right. So you don't like the Minnesota tush push defense?
I just don't know if it's sustainable, honestly.
Okay, well you're going to be the guy. So you're going to be the guy who's sideways. So just I guess prepare for that.
Okay. Support for this show comes from Starbucks. The real pumpkin spice latte is now in season at Starbucks. As a football player, the end of July through August is always challenging. It's the dead of the summer. I've got coaches putting me through drills as we get ready for the upcoming season. It's a part of the game I love, but only one thing gets me through the season, and that's pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks. That's right, Starbucks pumpkin spice lattes are officially back in the starting lineup. Handcrafted with Starbucks signature espresso, steamed milk, and real pumpkin. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. I was able to get my hands on a few PSLs. I gotta say, they're pretty awesome. So now that PSLs are back, coffee lovers everywhere can enjoy all the fall moments that happen at Starbucks all season long. Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, get it while it's hot or iced. All right, not just football family. Big giveaway time. We've got a signed jersey from yours truly, and one of you is taking that bad boy home. Here's how you can win. Drop a comment on YouTube and tell us your top 3 current NFL players. And I want to know why. Give me the reasons why. Give me the real reasons. Maybe it's their game. Maybe it's their trash talk. Maybe they remind you of the glory days. Whatever it is, let me hear it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss next week when I'm calling out the winner on the pod. And best of luck. But Hayden, are you going to compete in that giveaway?
Yeah, I'm actually though more concerned that people are going to try to suck up to you and just name you in the top 3. Consider you're giving the giveaway. It's your jersey. It's going to be a bunch of Cam Heywards in the top 3. If I'm giving any advice, be honest. It doesn't have to be Cam in the top 3 as much as he may be somebody's favorite player or best player or whatever, but it's going to be a lot of Cam Heywards in there. You know it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Look at that smile. You're like, oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of Cam Heywards.
There's no smile here.
Yeah, there's a big smile. I don't know though. Maybe people are still angry about the contract thing, so maybe they will put you in the top 3. Who knows?
Yeah, I have to feed my family, like everybody keeps talking about. Jesus, my goodness! Like, guys, you got to get past that. Come on, move on. I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
All right, let's go to this or that. Let's play a best Steelers Halloween costume ideas. This or that. Are you ready to go?
I guess so.
All right, classic monster. Cam Heyward as Nosferatu.
Who is that?
I don't know. Or TJ Watt as the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Like Nessie?
Oh, Cam Heyward as Frankenstein. We switched it up because we don't know who Nosferatu is. All right, keep this in here, Josh. Here we go. Back to it. Classic monster. Cam Heyward as Frankenstein monster versus TJ Watt as the creature from the Black Lagoon. What do you got, Cam?
Well, I'm probably going to take Cam Heyward as Frankenstein. That was like one of my first costumes, by the way. I love dressing up as Frankenstein.
Yeah, that should probably fit. You were probably a tall kid. I would imagine Frankenstein just worked.
And it's an easy fix, right? You just go to a thrift store, grab a old suit, cut it up a little bit, make it look like you're Frankenstein in green paint.
I love it. Look at you. How many times do you do that? It feels like you've done that a lot.
I've done that a good bit. We found like a little Frankenstein mask growing up. My head was already too big, so it was just like not really fitting the mask. So,
all right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, dynamic duo, Aaron Rodgers and Pat Freiermuth as Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World, or DK Metcalf and Jonnu Smith as Batman and Robin.
Okay, the only thing with DK and Jonnu, they're not Batman and Robin. They have to be Batman and Superman. But
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take Aaron and Pat as Wayne and Garth. I think they'd be a hell of a. Actually, no, I would take Aaron out, and I slide in Ben Skoranek for
Garth.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. I think that would be a much better crew. Pat and Skoranek would be hilarious.
Skoranek would probably be a pretty good Garth. That'd be good. All right, throwback. Mike Tomlin as 70s disco Tomlin with an afro versus DK Metcalf dressed up as Mean Joe Green. Interesting.
Well, 70s disco Tomlin is basically Tomlin from the 2000s. So the early 2000s.
His afro wasn't that big. It was large for the time, but like compared to like 70s afro, wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but he could get away with the little afro. He could go back to it. I think Mike T would be perfect in the 70s.
Okay, I like that. All right. Group costumes. O-line as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the D-line dressed as Kiss. Ooh, you in a Kiss costume would be, it's got to be D-line on that. That would be pretty funny.
See, I'd rather the D-line be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the O-line be Kiss.
Well, the producers made this. It's their
choice.
Producers. It's their game, okay? You got to follow their game. You've been changing all of these. You got to just follow the rules.
Why do I have to change the rules?
I'm a rule breaker. I said follow the rules, not asked you why you got to change the rules. You're changing the rules. You guys are not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You're Kiss. You dressed in leather is a funny thought.
I just don't. I don't want the leather.
Tight leather on Cam Heyward. It's Kiss, baby. Are you kidding me? That's hilarious. You Benton. Oh my god, YA and dressed as Kiss would be hilarious, dude. You guys are huge. You guys dressed as Kiss is it. That's it. All right. Wow. Last one. Scary movies. Joey Porter Jr. as Michael Myers or Alex Highsmith as Jason. Voorhees? Is that his last name?
Yeah, Jason Voorhees.
I didn't know that was his last name. I'll just
Where
call him
Jason. Where have you
been? I just always knew him as Jason. The movies aren't called Jason Voorhees. They're called Jason, right?
Yeah, but
they're not called Jason.
He does have a last
they're not
name.
Called JV. Okay, I mean, seriously, don't look at me like I'm weird for not knowing that.
You are weird.
Jason Voorhees. I didn't ask for his government name. Just give me a serial killer.
Maybe
name.
They should have asked for his government name, and they wouldn't be able to find him a lot faster.
They wouldn't have been running wild for as long as he has.
I'm going to take Alex Highsmith as Jason Voorhees. I just don't think Joey's big enough to be Michael Myers. I'll be honest.
That's a fair one. He needs to be more menacing.
Yes.
This game though has brought me makes me wonder. You don't have to tell me the date, but is the Steeler? You guys having a Halloween party coming up?
We might be.
Okay, and is there a prize for the best costume? Like, are people going to be trying to win this thing?
Yes.
Okay, and how confident are you feeling?
It's a couple's costume. I'll say that.
Oh, wow. Is that fair, though? That feels kind of like a cheat code. I hope other people are taking advantage of that.
You have to.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Who will spend the most on a Halloween costume this year on the team? And is it you?
No, it's not me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm thinking there's a couple people. Deshaun Elliott would spend a lot of money. One. Delhi. Aaron Rodgers, he looks like he would just spend whatever it takes. $400 million. There's a lot of resources there.
Oh, nice! Wow! You went wow! You did what the fans do to you today.
Yes, I had to do it just one good time.
I hope he could feed his family.
I hope he can too.
That's all I care about.
Who else? I know what TJ's wearing.
You already know what he's wearing?
I know what some people are wearing, but yeah. What is the
prize? Can you tell me what the prize is or no?
It's a getaway.
Oh man, so there is incentive to do it. There's an
incentive to do it.
Okay. Well, that's why TJ can't tell you what he's going to be, because now you're just going to try to one up it.
I was already going to one up it, dude.
Well, but if you didn't know, you couldn't do it. So
I was going to one up that.
All right. Well, I expect to have a full report on the Steeler, maybe some pictures too, if you're allowed to share. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. You want to go to our last game to finish this thing out?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go to Ask Cam Anything. And everybody remember, go to all of our socials, wherever you can find Not Just Football. Use the hashtag AskACA and Ask Cam Anything, and he will answer your questions on the show. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, Bailey Fink wants to know, how is preparing for this week's game different coming off a loss than if you would be coming off a win? That's a good question.
It doesn't really change, honestly, Bailey. For us, you got to prepare the same way week in and week out. On short weeks, you have less time to take care of your body, so you're kind of just trying to push everything into it. But if it's a Sunday game and it's the same weeks before, and whether it's a loss or a win, if coming off a win later in the season, you might get a victory Monday, so you have more time to take care of your body. But other than that, it's more, copacetic and trying to, make sure you produce the same winning outcome coming off a loss.
Do you find yourself like did you start looking at film immediately Thursday night after the loss? Like, would you have done that if you guys had won, or would you have maybe taken the weekend off or like a day off?
I gave myself 48 hours to kind of just process a little bit, and then I just kind of just went straight to their game and watched a little bit, and then really picked up from Monday to Tuesday, and just try to prepare like it's a normal week. You don't want to overload yourself in those moments.
Okay. All right. From @Ryan Breen, if you could moderate a panel at Comic-Con, what would the topic be and who would be your speakers? Oh, now that sounds like a good question for you.
Well, first of all, I'm going to moderate the MCU, and I'm going to do Doomsday and Secret Wars because those are going to be pretty good movies. Got to have Robert Downey Jr. up there. Got to have Tom Holland and the rest of the Avengers bunch. I think that's what you got to do. What would you do, Hayden?
I'm sorry, I'm not a Comic-Con.
Wait, this is what you could do. I've already got it set up for you.
Okay, set it up for me. Let's see.
Hayden, he's going to do the new Oceans movie.
Listen, I sent you that story. Did you see that story where somebody stole I think it was Magellan's diamonds from the Louvre?
Yeah.
Dude, that was straight out of Oceans, man. I would do it Oceans. I don't think that's Comic-Con, but yes.
Yeah,
I would do it Oceans for the new Oceans movie because, man, I tell you what, that heist, I'm a sucker for a heist movie, dude. I am just you are too, I feel like.
Are you more of a sucker for an Oceans movie or for a Fast and the Furious movie?
Probably an Oceans. And even though, listen, if Fast and the Furious is on, we're checking in. But like, your heist movies of like The Town, if it's on, I'm watching it. Any Oceans is on, I'm watching it. Like I'm a sucker for a good heist movie. All right, last one from my man T-Dog here. T-Dog 97 wants to know, if you could pick up walk-up song in baseball, what would it be?
Still by Dr. Dre.
Wow, look at you. All right, this is from Miss Dana Lynn.
Hi,
Do you always punch QBs when they are down like a douche canoe?
A douche canoe? What is a douche canoe?
It's a douche in a canoe. That's you, apparently, because you punch quarterbacks.
Wait, no, is she saying like a quarterback is down like a douche canoe?
No. You're the douche canoe. I guess what she's saying is douche canoes punch quarterbacks, and you would be the head of the douche canoes if you consider how many times you've punched a quarterback.
But let's get to the definition of a douche canoe. Like,
hold on, I'm on it. Let me check.
Yeah, like a douche canoe doesn't add up. I feel like you got to be laying down to be a douche canoe, and I wasn't laying down. The quarterback was laying down.
Oh, it's an obnoxious person, basically. Typically used for a man. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You want a sentence?
Wow. Way to objectify me and make me a douche canoe. But no, I actually.
So for a sentence on it would be like, car drives through a large puddle, drenching a child. And then someone would say, what a complete douche canoe.
So I'm compared to that?
That's Urban Dictionary. Yeah.
Wow.
Someone exceeds the limits of being a normal douche or a douchebag. Like, Luke, you are such a douche canoe. So I just think you're just a douche is what she's trying to say. But yeah.
No, I beat the normal limits of a douche.
Yes, you've surpassed douche. You're just a douche canoe. But it goes back to the ultimate question of why do you continue to punch quarterbacks, you douche canoe?
I'm celebrating half of the time. Like, I was not trying to punch the dude. Relax. Y'all act like everybody's mama out here. Y'all need to just relax. Watch ball and take a back seat because y'all ain't doing nothing.
I, for one, love to celebrate with a nice punch. Just a nice fist bump.
Bro, you've watched The Breakfast Club.
Thank you for playing Ask Cam Anything. And remember, everybody, please get your questions in wherever you see our social medias, and Cam will answer them no matter what, as you can clearly see, is with the douche canoe.
All right, now it's time for the best part of the day.
Why are we still doing this?
Ask Hayden Anything. And this is the best time. All right, Hayden, you ready for the first question?
First?
Yeah.
No, just one. We're running out of time here.
No, we're having fun today. I've got it prepared.
Okay, go.
What was the one house you like to go to for Halloween?
The one house?
What was your favorite house to go to for Halloween?
I mean, there was a how do I say this? There was a woman who was in the adult film industry, and she lived on the corner. She lived on a corner, but she gave out very good candy. She gave out large candy bars, the XL candy bars, but she was in the adult film industry. She was actually later a madam too. I think it was booked in Gwinnett County, or I'm not going to say the county, but it was booked at a jail. Yes, but she gave the best candy, and it was known that she had the best stuff. So yes, it was. I don't remember her name, but she was in the adult film industry.
What candy did she give?
Well, it was extra large Snickers, Twix, and Butterfingers, whatever, the large. I think they call that Magnum is what they call it. So,
I just love that, you're like, she gives the best candy, and then you don't have an answer what the best candy.
Well, I didn't want to say extra large Twix because, just whatever. Okay, go. Yes. The adult film star gave the best candy, though.
Oh, man. My next one. What's a candy you would fight a kid for?
Man, a candy I would fight a kid for?
Yes.
I mean, honestly, a Reese's peanut butter cups, probably a Reese's if I had to pick one to fight. I mean, I'm probably not going to fight a kid over candy anyway. That's kind of aggressive. Like, I would probably just steal it. If it was a child, I would just take it from him, not beat him up.
But you never know. The kid could have stole it from you, and then there's a problem.
Well, I would, if that's the case, I would go back and get my candy. I would, I would probably a Reese's. I said we got into Nerds clusters earlier in the year. I like those a lot too, but Reese's probably my number one.
Okay.
What would you fight a kid over? What do you fight your children over?
I don't really fight them. I just take them out of their bags without them knowing.
Yeah, we know. Dad tax.
Dad tax. We take Reese's. I love a classic Hershey's bar, a cookies and cream Hershey's bar. But I leave them all the Butterfingers and Almond Joys and Mounds. They can have all those.
Man, missing on those Butterfingers, brother.
No. Butterfingers might be the most overrated bar of all time.
That's not true. We can move
overrated. Just because it was in The Simpsons, it got all the love in the world.
That's not. It's just good.
No,
it's not nothing to do with The Simpsons. Who eats it because it's in The Simpsons? Nobody does. All right, go. What else you got for me?
All right, last one.
Okay.
Best Halloween song of all time.
I mean, it feels like you got to go with the Monster Mash. I mean, the all time. I mean,
wow.
What?
Thriller?
I gotta be honest with you. As a kid, that scared the ever living shit out of me. I was terrified of that music video. Horrified. When his eyes turn yellow, man, I don't know. It did a number on me for years. It was really bad. So Thriller, no. In fact, my family still makes fun of me today for as a child how much Thriller affected me. It was bad. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, I'm okay now to listen to it. I still think it's maybe the most overrated Michael Jackson song ever. But yeah, that song is overrated.
Wait, is that your hot take of the day?
The dance and stuff. Yeah, I think Thriller's overrated. I do.
Whoa.
I mean, I don't think Michael Jackson's overrated. I think Thriller's overrated.
So what's his best song then?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't know. PYT's pretty good. Rock With You's good. I mean, not Thriller, though. Not Thriller.
Wow.
Yeah, not Thriller. Off the Wall. I mean, anything up that. I mean, yeah, it's I mean, I don't know, but no, not Thriller. No, not a fan of Thriller. It's Monster Mash. That's the go-to. It's Monster Mash. So what's yours? Thriller?
Thriller's one of them. Ghostbusters.
Is that a Halloween song or is that a theme of a song? It's a theme.
It has to be played every Halloween.
I guess. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's probably better than Monster Mash. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the Ghostbuster movies. So
what?
Not a huge fan now.
My favorite is Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you care to tell us why? Just they couldn't get the plot. Couldn't get the plot in one. They had to.
No, because I really like the Marshmallow Guy in 2, and I like when they bring the Statue of Liberty to life. That was always my favorite part.
Very nice. I just thought about something with the dad tax. You didn't get enough of the incentives. You can't feed your family, so now you're stealing candy from your kids. It's wild. It's wild. It's just wild.
Yep.
I'm surprised nobody called you out on that, by the way. But yeah,
they will now. Thanks, Hayden.
they will. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, yeah. You got anything else?
No, I'll leave it. I have more for later, but
Oh, great.
I will say thank you everybody for playing Ask Hayden Anything. Hashtag AHA.
Nobody's playing that game.
Guys, it's a great time. Thank you for sending your questions. We'll continue to keep playing. It is a great time for everybody to just get to know more about Hayden. We got to know what his favorite candy bar is. We got to know what he liked to do as a kid when he went on his Halloween adventures. He liked to go to the actresses.
The adult film. It's not. It's adult film, okay? And then she became a madam, okay? She was arrested, but I think she's out now. So yeah.
Okay, she's out in the prowl. Stay safe, everybody, for Halloween.
Bad terminology there. Bad terminology.
All right, guys, that is our episode. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Drop a follow or a rating wherever you stream your podcast. Thank you for listening, and that is our show, Not Just Football. See you next Wednesday. Thanks for Starbucks for their support. There are 3 things that always define the fall: football, cardigans, and Starbucks pumpkin spice lattes. It's time to embrace fall with this seasonal classic pumpkin spice latte, handcrafted with Starbucks signature espresso, steamed milk, pumpkin, and then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. Get it while it's hot or iced.